Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is January 29th, and we've got a quick episode for you today that covers the horrible price action. We're going to be talking about AlphaGrowth with some ideas. We're going to talk about client update and some ETH hopium. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Okay, so another day, another new low, and we got a low against USD and we got a low against ETH. So Ramana yesterday evening was updating the bot with lows that were coming in, and there were a whole bunch of them that came in. So let's actually just see where the low is right now. Yeah, it's looking really bad. So the ratio low is 0.00246591, and the USD low is $7.62 thereabouts. So the ratio from the Atlas high is down 93%, and the ratio from the price from the Atlas high in US dollars is down 88%. So this is absolutely brutal. Yeah, there's really not much I can say about this. It's absolutely like beating down the whole community, and it's just been really tough. Now you might be thinking, hey, the RPL is going down, it's just RPL, but it's not just RPL, it's like other altcoins as well. I know this might sound like cope to you all, but coins like the ones that I'm holding, like ZK, that's down bad. Eigenlayer is down bad. The ETH BTC ratio is down particularly bad. If we actually have a look at the 1 week chart, it looks pretty much like the RPL price, just in general, going down. So ETH is going down against BTC, and RPL is going down against ETH, and both of them are going, well, not necessarily down against the dollar, because ETH is actually up a little bit from that time, but this is really tough. It's been really tough for people in the Rocket Pool community to go through this, and sadly, I don't know where the end is in sight for Rocket Pool, but hopefully it will come soon. However, with negative price comes negative sentiment, and there is no shortage of negative sentiment. So here we have Dougie, who's a long-time user of Rocket Pool, a node operator from the very beginning. He says, I'm out, I'm not operating a node anymore, I'm not holding RPL anymore. This whole endeavor, especially this Discord, was a good distraction. This is one of the worst financial decisions I've ever made. This was one of the first 100 nodes I was one of the first 100 nodes to register. I staked almost 100% of my ETH with the protocol. My node had near perfect uptime. My proposal and sync committee look were in the bottom 10%. When LEB8 landed and RPL was pumping, I converted all my mini pools, 14% fee on 24 ETH staked for holding our ETH holders. Sign me up, what could go wrong? Then we made RPL worthless. I voted for RPL to become worthless. Everyone dumped and continued to dump. A glimmer of hope here, cool value capture mechanism there, but so far vaporware. That's nice little rhyming there. Anyway, Dougie goes on to say RPL is a way to extract value from RPL holders to pay for people working on the protocol and nothing more. Unless you're one of those people, holding is super dumb. I should know, I was one of those people. I am dumb. I hope things turn around. If demand for our ETH needs more people to create mini pools, I'll probably do it. Don't plan on getting burned by a collateral governance token though. So this was actually quite strong. They really rallied the community. A lot of people were giving Dougie hugs and kind of crying. People saying that today's been a shit day. That's what I was saying. It's been a tough day, and I think it was just a moment for people in the community just kind of vent for a little while and just talk about how it's been a tough time and it's just there's no end in sight. So Dougie said that he sold his RPL, and he lost 15 ETH staking with Rocket Pool. He made 8 ETH in rewards in that time. So he's down bad, 7 ETH basically, which is quite a lot. So that's really tough. So I'm sorry that Dougie's feeling this way. Here, Noshua, after a long discussion, this wasn't just the first thing Noshua said, but after a long discussion, he was saying that we really should have made changes sooner, like seeing that Atlas wasn't going the way we had hoped it was going, like pretty quickly. We should have started to make changes. I'll say in Nosh's own words, he says, node operator ETH peaked 18 months ago, shortly after Atlas. Atlas made tokenomics worse. RPL is pretty much down only since then, long before Saturn Zero. Our ETH side peaked a year ago. For a long while, it looked like node operator side was blocking our ETH. All Saturn Zero did was show that that's not the case. You can argue that this extra information led to further RPL decline, but what's the alternative? Market and PDAO not realizing there is an issue with our ETH side until Saturn 1, and then RPL crashes even harder. Bottom line is a protocol doesn't grow 10x by shrinking for multiple years. Expectations for growth were sky high, and ratio was hot heading into Atlas, even for those high expectations. If you look at what's happening now, and the explanation is Saturn Zero, I think you really have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. So some, might argue that the decline of Rocket Pool started with a PETH any debate. Some will say that the tokenomics from the beginning were fundamentally flawed. I'm just saying that people have been making all these arguments, but I think the idea that's kind of sticking right now is that the tokenomics were fundamentally flawed, and sadly there were too many different things that could have been causing issues for Rocket Pool that people were identifying. These are things like Lido dominance. These are things like being node operator bottlenecked. These are things like being our ETH bottlenecked. These are things like the rise of restaking, all of these different things. But sentiment is just really, really low. Now we've seen posts like Dougie's before, and we've thought that it might be a sign of capitulation. However, the price has kept going down. But right now, I think that the whole community is just having a really, really tough time, and it's really showing in sentiment in the whole thing. Here, Val says, I'm big filled with regret for not reassessing the whole protocol soon after Atlas when the belief we acted on wasn't realized. I think there was a path to use the fact that we had belief structure in black and white to act, even with the price going super well. And then there was more, he says, act meaning both a quick fix and maybe even the tokenomics work could have started way sooner. Maybe I'm less clear on. So this discussion kind of went on. Non-fungible Yoakum says the months immediately following Atlas were messier than that. There was a big Rocket Pool queue. Our ETH demand was short for the new supply, and there was a big beacon chain queue, so it wasn't irrational to think that growth stopping was because of the queues. And yeah, there was different pieces of evidence showing how things were kind of slowing down, even with before the queues basically took full hold. So yeah, it was a really, really difficult conversation. And sadly, there's no easy answers, So that's where we stand right now. Okay, Sadbroke Director popped in to the AlphaGrowth thread with this idea. He says, I'm excited to share a strategy I'm working on to benefit the DAO. I'm in discussions with multiple bridges to bring our ETH to multiple chains, providing more options for users. Currently, bridges take all the fees for these transactions. I'm exploring partnerships where a bridge could charge a small BIPs fee with a portion going back to the DAO. This could create a new revenue stream for the DAO, diversifying the DAO's income beyond RPL token inflation. I'd love to discuss further with the community. Feel free to reach out for a call, DM, or continue the conversation in this thread. So Ramana said, what do you need from the community? Could this simply be used to buy back RPL and then burn it, I guess, maybe, or just hold on to it? I guess it could need a similar treatment to the voter share of income in Saturn. Dulfa says, I don't know the logistics of how it would work, but you might need something to write to convert tokens, bringing this back to RPL and then deposit to the vault. It can't go through the GMC multisig. I don't recommend it go through the IMC multisig either, but that's really up to them. And then Scuzzle says, is this income stream coming from the bridges cut, or is there a new fee being added on? And Ramana says, sounds like an extra bit, but let's see what Sadbroke Director says. So Jasper here had a quick reaction to it, saying that good luck deciding on the bridge. That's not easy. There are many options, and native interoperability is coming to Ethereum, so that's going to make things even messier. So it might not be like a long-term, revenue stream here when things will get easier for Ethereum. So that discussion will carry on, and I'll give you updates if it goes anywhere interesting. Okay, next we have update of client, and this is Nimbus. And Nimbus is saying they've got version 25.1.0, and this is a medium urgency release with a gas limit increase along with Beacon API and security fixes. So this will increase the API for default gas to 36 million. So getting everything ready for the the move up in the gas limit, 20% up from 30 million to 36 million, which is awesome. So update that at your will. And finally, we're going to end the episode with something bullish. We can't let it all be negative all the way through. So here we have a post from Vivek, of course, who works with Etherealize. And Vivek here says, we're not bullish enough about ETH. It's been 1 week since the inauguration and the entire Ethereum ecosystem has been reborn. 5 reasons why ETH now has structural, not cyclical tailwinds for 2025 and beyond. So he says Trump and his World Liberty team are building on and buying ETH. They've bought $250 million worth, I think, or maybe even more than that now. Like a truly astronomical amount. It's like a lot. After that, Vivek says the buy-side asset managers, hedge funds are vocally all in on tokenization, and the tokenization happens on Ethereum. He says the sell-side investment banks are embracing crypto functionality, and the safest, most secure blockchain is, of course, Ethereum. Sorry about that. After that, he says one of the biggest catalysts for Wall Street adoption, the SAB 121 bill has been repealed, and that will allow a flourishing of crypto through banks, and BTC and ETH is likely where they will start, with others as well. And then staked ETFs are likely on the horizon. I think they're going to be here within a couple of months, potentially. And it says the new SEC is pro innovation. We'll see how we'll now see more accelerated support for crypto ETFs. The first order of business and lowest hanging fruit is adding staking to ETH ETFs and allowing in-kind redemption. So I've already covered how they're allowing in-kind redemption for BTC and ETH on some of them, and well, applications have been made to put that through. And then of course the staking ETFs are just adding, amendment, adding a short paragraph. So that's going to be really cool. And then Vivek finishes by saying, remember, in this new renaissance, all roads lead through Ethereum, institutionalized blockchains on ETH, tokenization on ETH, programmatic finance on ETH, and stablecoins on ETH. He says Ethereum is the new operating system of the global economy, and you are not bullish enough on ETH. So I thought that was a nice way to end the episode, but that's when I'm going to end it. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope you're all being kind to each other out there, and I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.